The last time America had a visionary, purposeful transportation policy was more than 50 years ago. Today, highways, roadways, and railways are strained to capacity and growing increasingly congested. As a result, our deteriorating transportation infrastructure threatens the connectivity and mobility that are essential to economic prosperity.
I think one of the principal problems is trying to coordinate almost 100 different transportation programs that Congress has authorized over the course of half a century.
Major investments are critically needed to both expand and modernize the entire program. To develop a framework for new legislation, the National Transportation Policy Project, or NTPP, gathered a diverse group of leaders and brought fresh voices to the debate.
We have to make our transportation system more fuel efficient, cleaner. We have to deal with the carbon issue. We have the challenge of reducing our dependence on fossil fuel. All of that are things that we have to deal with at the national level in conjunction with states.
When you get well-intentioned people who got a good solid background, who know the subject matter, when you have a determined effort to develop a product worthy of note that will inform the administration, that will inform the Congress, I think that's a task worthy of our best effort, and we're giving it just that.
As Congress prepares to debate a new surface transportation bill, NTPP suggests a policy that's more directly linked to a set of clearly defined goals and a transportation system that's more accountable for results.
The transportation project is focused on establishing national goals and a performance-driven, performance-based system which is directed towards the challenges and values that the country faces in the 21st century.
I think this project brings to the debate three things. Number one, it's not from the government. It's coming from the users of the infrastructure and those who've studied the problems in years past. The second it brings is bipartisanship. And the third is a vision that is not about individual stakeholders. It's about high performance for the system.
The transportation project really believes that national policy has lost its way over the last several years, and we felt it was essential to develop clear goals around which transportation policy at the national level would take shape.
The first goal is economic growth. You cannot make transportation investments without considering whether you're enhancing economic growth or not. Second, we've got the idea of national connectivity. There's consistently been a federal role in connecting the nation's transportation system. The third goal is to provide efficient access to jobs, labor, and other activities throughout metropolitan areas. Next is to integrate energy security and environmental protection objectives with transportation policies and programs. The final goal the project came up with is to improve safety by reducing the number of accidents, injuries, and fatalities associated with transportation.
The proposals we're making are a pretty radical departure from the past, so that's a high hurdle. On the other hand, they'll be well considered, and many of them align with a lot of the other interest groups' recommendations, so that makes the hurdles a little bit easier to get over.
In addition to the 5 goals, the NTPP proposes a new set of performance-based metrics to reform the transportation system, making it more efficient and effective.
First category is economic growth, access to jobs and labor. When it comes to the economic vitality of a metropolitan region or even the nation, what matters is the ability of people to get access to their jobs and to their places of work. The second performance measure is access to non-work activities. Quality of life is how many non-work activities, such as going to the doctor's office, going to the park, going to any particular amusement, is available within a certain time and distance from wherever you live. Network utility is measuring how well points on a network are connected to one another. In this case, the national transportation system. And the last one under the category of economic growth is corridor congestion. Corridor congestion is measuring how much delay there is in a given corridor. The next two measurements under the category of energy and environmental protection are petroleum consumption and then CO2 emissions. We want to make sure that we're reducing the amount of petroleum consumption to improve our own energy security. CO2 emissions is evaluating how much the transportation system is contributing to global climate change. The third and final category of performance measures are for safety. Fatalities and injuries per capita is a measure that evaluates how safe our transportation system is across all forms of transportation. The last one is fatalities and injuries per vehicle miles traveled. Fatalities and injuries per vehicle miles traveled is a measure that evaluates safety on one specific mode, which is the automobile.
These measurements are critical in a performance-based system where states and localities have broad discretion in shaping their programs. We don't care how they achieve these results as long as they show progress.
And I think the accountability factor will also satisfy members of Congress that their willingness to invest is worthwhile, that it is important, and when you get a report back on what you've accomplished, I think everybody wins at that point.
America's transportation system is vital to staying competitive in today's global economy. Crafting a sensible transportation policy that is smarter, safer, and cleaner is essential to our success.